Start your morning with optimism, believing your possibilities. Thank you for choosing Fantastic Radio UK. Your music, your possibilities.
Ngiyamthanda uhlale nami emisheni njalo njalo kuyafana ngiyamthanda yabona mpinjami
これからみんなでめちゃくちゃ踊って騒ごう騒ごう。
Headbanger. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Give me some new. Give me some new.
Come in.
Right.
Mr. Pilkington, and how are we today?
Yeah, I'm all right, Doctor. Yeah, I've just come for my checkup.
Okay, then pop your pants off.
What?
Just pop your pants off.
Well,
And
I forgot to take my pants off.
well, because I have to pop my finger up your
What?
to check your prostate gland.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I am worried about it because prostate cancer kills 10,000 men every year in Britain.
You can check that out if I get any symptoms.
Well, there aren't always symptoms, and symptoms do vary from man to man. So the best way to check it out is I just pop my finger up there
I'm really not
and have a
happy with this.
feel.
Just
Don't worry about it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
No.
I don't know why he was worried. You probably saved his life there.
Does he have to be here?
He's just a mate. Don't worry about him. He's just watching me at work.
For more information, visit the Prostate Cancer Charity website. Real men know all about it.
Ode to Boobs by Pip Bishop. Dear Boobs, this heartfelt apology goes out to you all for moaning you're too big or moaning you're too small, for wishing you didn't hang like puppies in sacks or just disappear when we lie on our backs, for squashing you flat with a minimising cup or those torture bras that push you right up. Why is it always your bad points we mention? Like your inverted nips or your water retention? Why don't we love you as much as our men? Or the babies that love you all over again? Maybe we're scared to show you we care, in case one day, well, you're simply not there. Make it up to your boobs with some breakthrough breast cancer TLC. Touch, look and check. To find out more during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, visit breakthrough.org.uk.
Hey, say, wait a minute. Where you going with that suitcase? Hey, wait a minute. Listen. All right, well, you don't have to answer. Just listen. I don't mind when you say that you're going.
It's morning, and the day is filled with endless possibilities. We're so glad to have you listening. Have a fantastic morning. Fantastic Radio UK, home of the Afropolitan.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6 minutes past 7, and it's on the 12th of July, 2021. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Simone Uncle. Welcome back.
Good morning. We're back. Yes, we're
How
back.
are you?
I'm well. I'm good. Yeah. It could have been better.
Right. Okay.
But we're good. Yeah.
Okay. How was your time away? Your time of rest. Your time of resting, and your time of reflecting, and your time of taking some moments with Simone Uncle. How was it?
Oh, it's fine. A little, very short staycation out of London, and then also a visit to our art show. That was King's Cross, and we just tried different things. So it's nice. Yeah, and the weather was good for it. So
yes. The sun has been very friendly, hasn't it? It's been very, very friendly. Been all over the place. Been working, doing few general cleaning and work, visiting two friends of mine. One's daughter, as I said, had a party, but the son had a party, so I had to go in and spend some time with them. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Went for a full boys meeting, and had some time with myself. Had some time spending with myself and reading different things and reflecting and re-strategizing, looking at different ways of moving the ship, and spending time with my son. So it's been a beautiful, restful time, and also to return with such energy, enthusiasm, and ready to rumble, as they say. So I'm good. It's Monday morning, and it's the 12th of July.
Yes,
2021.
it is indeed. Yeah.
I usually get it wrong, don't I? Usually I get it wrong.
No, that's fine. No, you're doing great.
I've got it all mapped out. So when I've got it all mapped out, written and documented, I have it all in the notebook. So I'm not getting nothing wrong this morning. I'm not getting nothing wrong this morning. This morning we woke up and few things went on yesterday.
Yes, it did.
It went on yesterday. Those of us who followed the news yesterday, particularly the football news, few things went on, and I felt we would have to sort of throw some light on it and share some our 2 cents on it, and from there we would at some point, I don't know how to start it. Yesterday when I was watching, did you watch the ball before I go into it?
I made an effort to watch it.
Okay.
Not that it should be an effort, but because most people are just, they love it and they'll follow every game and every kind of report on football. But as for me, I'm one of those people that had to be persuaded by the masses, really, and the enthusiasm in the country. I just thought, okay, I got swept up with it because I'm like, okay, I need to know what's going to happen next. I was too intrigued, so I did find myself sitting in front of the box and watching and following the game last night, and very pensive and exciting, and a little disappointing, but there's lots to be proud of. I mean, good to get this far in the game already is brilliant. So sadly, the game wasn't brought back to the England, unfortunately, but it was a valiant effort by the England team. We had some beautiful players in there, very skilled people, and some very young too. We actually had a couple of players, of course, like the penalty shootout at the end of it. We had Bukayo Saka, who's only 19 years old, and Marcus Rashford at 23 years old. Very impressionable young men already, doing great things in the sport and other things. And to see them at the final doing this and having great responsibility and taking it in their stride, really, as much as they can, under such pressure as well, for such young ages. They did great. So we've still got lots to be proud of to get them and alike as course Gareth Southgate, who led the team, brilliant, and all the other players involved. They did a great job. So there's lots to be proud of to get the game this far and get England this far in the game. So yeah, commiserations, but we congratulate those that got involved and did the job. So yeah, we thank them.
Simone, we never compared notes concerning this particular subject. We haven't compared no notes, but everything you've said is what I was going to say. Honestly. Honestly.
No, but I kind of agree with you, because I'm sure that's going to be the sentiment of most people. Most decent people will be thinking, okay, they're proud of what's been accomplished so far. There's disappointment, but beyond that, we've very much got a lot to be proud of. Yeah.
Because I was watching the match. I hadn't had time to watch all of the other countries playing, but I've watched the England team playing, and what a phenomenal team! Phenomenal. I mean, what a fantastic team Mr. Southgate placed together. The young men, the gentlemen were brilliant. I mean, from everybody. Okay, I support Tottenham, so from Kane to everybody that played,
exactly Harry Kane, yeah,
remarkable playing, and looking at them playing and enthusiastically, and how they placed and how they added their. You could tell that these people were playing this thing passionately, loving the sport, and doing it from the depths of their heart. And for me, I would want to say thank you. Thank you for bringing the country this far. Thank you for the contribution. Thank you for the input that goes into this. Every one of them, particularly the technical team. I was watching how Mr. Southgate was talking to the team whilst the match was going on, and the level of coordination.
The whole strategy.
The strategy. That's it. The strategy that goes into footballing is remarkable. I saw him handling the team and coming back to them, and he's standing there very comported, very, very organized in thought, And I was watching and I'm thinking, this is beautiful. And I would want to say thank you so much. Thank you for the England team. Remarkable play that they played. I watched Kaka. Is it Abubakar Kaka? Playing the ball,
Bukayo Saka.
Remarkable. He did remarkable.
Bukayo Saka, yeah.
Rashford. You've got there's a guy called Maguire. The gentleman, one of the gentlemen who scored the penalty. Remarkable player. But most of all, I would want to say, Gareth Southgate showed me two things.
Good.
He showed me two things. 14 past 7. I'll share with you as we prepare to go for a song. Gareth Southgate showed me leadership. He showed me leadership, and he showed me sense of leadership. In the midst of pressure, how do you manage yourself? In the midst of turbulence, how do you organize your thoughts? In the midst of pain, how do you navigate around it? And what I saw watching him leading the team was a sense of direction, a sense of conviction, and a sense of motivation. Even when the chips were down, I saw him walking to the team boys and saying, listen, guys, what has happened, but let's find a way forward. what has happened has happened. Let's find a way forward. And this is my message, 7 to the person spending the few minutes with us, or few hours, or few time with us. What has happened happens, but it's about what do you do with what happened.
Oh, yeah. It's your response to
it's your response.
The disappointment. Yeah.
You know what
but
I'm
I think
saying?
the leadership it takes. I think to lead that team. Of course, you definitely need to be a people person, because yes, you've got to be a bit dogmatic, I suppose, with strategy and all that stuff. But once, like you said, once it comes to this point in the game, you've got to show compassion as well. So you've got to be able to still galvanize the team and motivate them and get them looking ahead for the next thing. There's very little time to maybe dwell on what's happened. You can, but you use it to a positive means, really, to plan the next move. So I imagine that's how it all goes on in the shower room, and all having the discussions, or whatever. But yeah, I'm sure that's part of the discussions that you have, and the team kind of brainstorming and everything else for the next move. So yeah, very good. I did see those attributes as well in what was happening on the field.
Yes,
between the manager and the players and all those things. And I thought, I kind of thought about that. I thought, they probably do compartmentalize the, what's happening around them, because they can't have those distractions or negative thoughts kind of creep in. Yeah. So they have to really sternly keep focused on what's ahead of them. So, whatever the score is at one point in the game, they'll try and turn it around. That's pretty much how you probably will approach it. We probably need to get a real player on to actually explain it to us. That'd be good to actually have somebody. We should do that in one of our future programs. Get a football player on.
We would have to do that.
Whatever league, somebody to come in and explain the full sport and the strategy and the whole mindset for us to get in our, for us to really understand it. But yeah, it was good to watch. It was good to watch. Even my sister was watching, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize you was into sports. Not, TV sports. But she's like, yeah, I'm watching. I was like, okay. She's like, she didn't want to be disturbed. So that was interesting. There's so many people that got not pulled in, but there's so many people that got either persuaded or were already, following earnestly this whole game. And about 23 million people apparently that got tuned in, and goodness knows how many were in the stadium. But it was a major thing in sporting history for the UK. So again, congratulations to Gareth Southgate for leading a great team. It's only second time in history, I believe, that the game was made it to the major final. So really, I think it's a great accomplishment so far.
It's 7:18. It's Simone Uncle and Kojo Bonti, and we're on fantastic radio.co.uk. You can get in touch with Simone at fantastikradio.co.uk, or myself at Bonti at fantastikradio.co.uk. We're going to go for a music. Soon as we come back, we get on with it. Mr. Hamidi, good morning, and let's go get some music. I'll be with you, and we will be with you soon as possible.
It's morning, and the day is filled with endless possibilities. We're so glad to have you listening. Have a fantastic morning. Fantastic Radio UK, home of the Afropolitan.
In my people's quest for true freedom, I pray that we unmask ourselves from everything that allows us to love. Because love is true freedom. And that's where freedom is.
Painting a picture with every word that I bring to you, singing the color of you.
Come in.
Right.
Ah, Mr. Pilkington, and how are we today?
Yeah, I'm all right, Doctor. Yeah, I've just come for my checkup.
Okay, then pop your pants off.
What?
Just pop your pants off.
Why
And,
have I got to take my pants off?
well, because I have to pop my finger up your
what?
to check your prostate gland.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I am worried about it because prostate cancer kills 10,000 men every year in Britain.
You can check that out if I get any symptoms.
Well, there aren't always symptoms, and symptoms do vary from man to man. So the best way to check it out is I just pop my finger up there
I'm really not
and have a
happy with this.
feel.
Just
Don't worry about it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
I don't know why he was worried. You probably saved his life there.
Does he have to be here?
He's just a mate. Don't worry about him. He's just watching me at work.
For more information, visit the Prostate Cancer Charity website. Real men know all about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Skin and bros. Yeah. Check. I saw the hustle for the paper. Baba God make you answer my prayer. It no be easy, but still we gon' make them. Say me sorry, I give it thanks to the maker. Yeah. Then it's back to the grind now. Get into the money, no this.
Ode to Boobs by Pip Bishop. Dear Boobs, this heartfelt apology goes out to you all for moaning you're too big or moaning you're too small, for wishing you didn't hang like puppies in sacks or just disappear when we lie on our backs, for squashing you flat with a minimising cup or those torture bras that push you right up. Why is it always your bad points we mention? Like your inverted nips or your water retention? Why don't we love you as much as our men or the babies that love you all over again? Maybe we're scared to show you we care, in case one day you're simply not there. Make it up to your boobs with some breakthrough breast cancer TLC. Touch, look and check. To find out more during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, visit breakthrough.org.uk.
Tout le monde à bord. Au port à la barrière. Nzambe ya moto ya bateau bazanga bateau. Bosi ya mboka. Boka mobali. Boka mobali go. Boka mobali. Boka mobali. Jacques Kamamvoam. Boka mobali. Gibusiri.
Simone and Kojo on Fantastic Mornings, 7 to 8 a.m. Join the conversation at onair@fantasticradio.co.uk.
We're certainly back 23 minutes past 7 on Fantastic Mornings. My name is Kojo Bonti Amwako. Her name is Simone Uncle. You find Simone on Twitter at Uncle Simone. Uncle Simone on Twitter, or you get in touch with Simone at fantasticradio.co.uk. Myself, you find me on Twitter at Bonti Amwako on Twitter, and you can always get in touch with me at Bonti at fantasticradio.co.uk. For those who want to find out how to reach us and enjoy the program or listen to the program, you go on all the downloadable platforms as in iTunes or Google Play. You download that apps and you'll be able to listen to us very, very soon. The website is going to be launched very soon. I was with them and they're working on stuff. We'll be on app ready. So very soon you could go in there, listen to it, download the programs and everything and be able to enjoy what we're doing. Again, you can go to podcast and all the other streaming platforms to be able to listen to us and be able to know what we do and how we do business. And if at any point we can be of service to you, please let us know. Don't forget today, our special guest is going to come through today. Mr. Jackson Smith, coming from Fantasy Wings, will be sharing with us what Fantasy Wings is all about, how they started, where they come from, and the journey of flying, what goes into it, the preparation that goes into it. Mr. Jackson will be spending the next few minutes with us and go into the technicalities and all the things that we have to do if one is looking at flying, what goes into flying. Let's get some music going. But Simone Uncle has got something for us. Simone, have you got something for us this morning? No,
yes. Not at this moment. No, we're going to go on to a break, and then we'll
as we go into the break. As we go into the break, I tell you a very interesting thing. My father shared a quote with me, and the quote he shared with me, and I wanted to sort of lace it back to what we share about leadership with Mr. Gary Southgate. He said, "Great heights were not achieved by sudden flights, but when your friends were asleep, they toiled all night long. Greatness comes with paying the price and understanding the cost of leading, and not forgetting the price of also getting down, knowing that it can happen to you or it might not happen to you, but having the tenacity, the boldness, and the courage to persist in making dreams possible. Everything is possible to the person that believes." My father shared this quote with me many, many years ago, and I want to share that with the England team to say, listen, please, 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 don't let what has happened in any way, shape, or form affect your performance, affect how you come back to play. Because we have the World Cup staring at us at some point, and
that's
World
December
Cup
2020. Sorry,
yes,
December 2022. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have the World Cup staring at us, and they have a beautiful life ahead of them. I was following a gentleman. I'm following a gentleman on Twitter, and he wrote a beautiful quote on Twitter. He said, "Please always understand that this country," older Englishman, he said, "please understand that this country is proud of you." And that is what I want to tell the English football team. This country is proud of you. This man is fairly older, and he said, listen, this young man laid themselves down for this match. And what he will say is that let us encourage these young men, because these things happen. Mr. Southgate, I'm going on about football a bit because clearly I have my own, my views on it.
That's fine. Let's scrap the break. Let's actually just talk. That's good.
Okay.
We're on the right stream. So
yeah, okay, thank you. Mr. Southgate lost his penalty back in his time, isn't it? And you never know what you go through, how you can be of support. And when we went on a break, what I was picking up from Mr. Southgate was, because he's been through, because he's played the national team, and he missed a penalty. When the young man missed it, he could empathize. And I love the word you used, Simone. I love the word you used. You said compassionate. He was very compassionate towards them. And for me, it's one supreme leadership skill that cannot go unnoticed. Compassionate. And whenever you see Mr. Southgate anywhere, or whenever anybody sees Mr. Gary Southgate anywhere, can you please tell him, myself and Simone Uncle and the fantastic radio team, we want to say thank you, Mr. Gary Southgate, for such a fantastic work you done with the young men yesterday, and I am so proud of you. Simone, you got something to say?
We're just going to regard. Yeah, I think really this experience is just to be taken as a mere warm up, because they've did some great things already. Yeah. So let's take it as a warm up for the World Cup in December 2022. Basically, there's some key things that. Of lessons learned, but there is such a lot of accomplishment already achieved in this experience. So yeah, lots to take from it, lots of positive things to take from it, and we just really, still got lots to be proud of. So we like that. We further like to highlight that, things on another topic really on immigration. Immigration also plays a major reason behind not just the football team success, but also what the success of the NHS, social care, London Transport, and aviation is one of them. I mean, it's just to name a few, but aviation we're going to speak about very soon because we have a very special guest from Fantasy Wings.
Fantasy Wings, that's right, yes.
So for those that are not familiar with Fantasy Wings, they are an organisation designed to empower young Black people to enter the airline pilot or aviation industry. They were founded by Jackson Smith in 2019. Followed success of a fantasy mentoring program. So as a young Black man himself, who battled adversity to gain his own pilot's license and his degree in aviation, Jackson Smith was determined to make it easier for other young people, men and women alike, from diverse backgrounds, to access the same opportunity that he has fought for. So Fantasy Wings has continued to support the development of aspiring pilots at all levels during this pandemic. So the program's still open all this time. And they offer a 10-month program to run each month that equips young people, particularly from ethnic minority women, with an understanding of skills needed to enter the aviation industry.
Right.
It's run by commercial pilots and aviation leaders. And at the end of the program, I believe 30 people, Jackson will be able to correct us tonight, it might be 30 or 50 people will be selected to have trial flights, and 3 people will have a 3-hour 3 people will have 45-hour private license lessons training. And that will be sponsored by Fantasy Wings. So there's lots involved. It's an intense program, but it's actually tailored for success, for those people that are selected. And the flying schools or locations are in London, Birmingham, and Manchester.
Beautiful.
So this has been going since 2019. Sounds like an excellent, industry to support, and also much needed. But it's great that it's open to everyone pretty much. So looking forward to hear a bit more from our guests that will be able to explain a bit more in detail about how it all began and where people can get involved.
Love that. Let's go get music. Soon as we come back, Mr. Jackson Smith, our guest from fantasywings.co.uk, joins us. Mr. Hamidi, let's do music. And after that, it's Jackson Smith from Fantasy Wings.
Simone and Kojo on Fantastic Mornings, 7 to 8 a.m. Join the conversation at onair@fantasticradio.co.uk.
You're a good soldier, choosing your battle. Pick yourself up and dust yourself off and back in the saddle. You're on the front line, everyone's watching.
Simone and Kojo on Fantastic Mornings, 7 to 8 a.m. Join the conversation at onair@fantasticradio.co.uk.
It's 33 minutes past 7, and it's Simone and Kojo on fantasticradio.co.uk. As we are ready, Mr. Hamidi, can we have Mr. Jackson joining us? Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Jackson. How are you?
Morning. I'm very well. How are you today?
I am beautiful. I am beautiful. It's 34 minutes, so please let's go straight into it. What brought about Fantasy Wings?
Well, I have my pilot's license, and I just noticed that there are not a lot of people that are in the aviation industry that are from the same background as me.
Yes.
When I sit in a lot of flying schools and when I talk to pilots, they're usually of a specific characteristic, and it's very rare to see pilots that come from a diverse background. So I was traveling because I do travel a lot, and I was in the airport in New York. And I saw 2 black pilots, and it was so surprising. It was so surprising to me because I've never seen 2 black pilots walking alongside each other, looking like they're going to fly the same aircraft. And I had to take a picture with them. And I just decided that we need to make the aviation industry more diverse. I wanted young people to look at careers like aviation and aspire for something more ambitious, even if it's not something they originally saw themselves in, because they felt like they were limited. I wanted them to unlimit themselves and aim for a more inspirational careers, such as being a pilot, which is why I started the Fantasy Wings program.
You know, Jackson, I'd love to take you way back. Really want to take you way back. Where does the motivation come from? Is it something you studied at school? Is it something mommy encouraged you? Is it something daddy brought it up or some uncle said it? Where did it start from for Jackson yourself?
I've just always loved planes. Like I've always loved planes, and I was running a mentoring program before, and I was working with some young people, and those young people told me, because they found out that I had my license, that it's something that they'd love to do, but they don't see anyone like them doing it. So they didn't think they could. And I was explaining to them that they could do anything if they put their mind to it.
Like that.
The fact that they seemed limited in what they believed they could achieve because they didn't see representation of themselves was something that was scary to me. It was scary to me that young people were being ring fenced into specific careers, and they also they didn't know that they had the potential to do whatever they could. So I start this program to show them that they don't have to ring fence themselves. They don't have to put themselves in a box. They can do anything they want to do. And I had a leader with one of the councils. I had a meeting with one of the leaders of a council in London, and they were also explaining to me that a lot of young people in their borough aim for specific careers. And it's not that they're bad careers, but they're careers that are highly saturated by people from black backgrounds and people from Asian backgrounds, and they don't push themselves. There's some of these careers don't have enough spaces for more young people, but more young people are still studying to enter these industries just because that's all they can see for themselves. So it's just something I really, really wanted to change.
I was about to ask you, do you get the required uptake? So you've got about 30 spaces, I think, for each program, 10 months program. Do you get the required uptake of applicants that come through, or do you have to push through schools and other institutions to get exposure?
We don't have 30 spaces. So the way that the program works, let me just explain it.
Okay.
So the way that the program works is that we have spaces in London, Birmingham, and Manchester for young people on our program. And at the end of the program, so it's a 10-month developmental program, which gives young people an understanding of a critical understanding of the skills required to become a commercial airline pilot and enter the aviation industry. And it runs each month. At the end of the program, at July, at our annual conference, 50 of the young people that were on the program will be selected to get a trial flight, and 3 of the young people will get selected to get their private pilot's license. Now we've just finished our first year's program, and last year for our first year's program, over around 9,500 people went on our website and signed to express interest in being part of the program. And then we opened up registration, and 1,500 of those people registered before we closed registration. It was between 1,500 and 2,000 people, to the point where we actually tripled, or even more than tripled the amount of trial flights we were giving away. So we put it to 180 trial flights around the country, and we gave away 9 private pilot's licenses, and we gave that away at our annual conference last week, not this Saturday, but last week Saturday. You can see some pictures of that on our Instagram page. But it was quite amazing to hear the response of people that were on the program, because we've had nothing but emails and messages on Instagram from parents and young people since our program came to an end, asking if we're going to run a part 2, telling us that they've really enjoyed it and that they feel like they've really learned and been able to step out of their perceived perception of what they can do in life. So it's quite an extraordinary thing to see so many young people that took that step to try and uplift themselves and further develop on their potential.
It seems like you've made a great impact already. I mean, you've been running this since 2019, and to actually had such a oversaturation of responses before, beyond your quota is amazing. I suppose you're a little bit saddened that you can't facilitate everyone because, but I don't know if there's room for growth, I suppose, for your organisation to maybe follow this up with, like you said, parents are looking for part 2 opportunities for their children. Is there those kind of plans ahead?
Yeah, we've got quite a few plans to do more, to get bigger and better. And we're still discussing them, but there are a lot of plans to get bigger and better. There'll be a part 1 So at the moment on our website, registration is open for our program for new participants. But we're always looking to see how we can do more to increase the value of what we're doing. I mean, last year we had Virgin Atlantic, who were watching what we were doing, reach out to us to partner with us on the program.
Very nice.
Now they're going to be working alongside us by sending their pilots to speak on the program, providing work experience days and visits to the hangars, and also ring fencing interview slots for apprenticeships and their future pilot programs for people on the Fantasy Wings program. So we're always expanding and trying to do more and more and more for our young people.
Jackson, I'm listening to you. The first time I got to know you guys because Simone mentioned you guys to me, and the first thing I said when I saw the message, I go, Simone, we're doing this. No joke, because 2 things jumped at me. I've always had this alternative way of thinking where I look at young people going into work or going to university and coming out, and there seems to be a particular trajectory that every young person tends to want to go. And I'm not trying to knock any other career down, but I feel if every young person gets down this tunnel, eventually it will get blocked. And when it gets blocked, they do not get other it gets saturated and all sorts of things kicks in. But if young people are introduced to different things and they are shown other path, then again suddenly they can see it, and if they can see it, they can dream it, and if they can dream it, then they know they can go for it. And better still, when people like them are there excelling, they can see themselves going there excelling. And that is what I jumped at, and that jumped at me when I saw what you're doing, and I'm thinking, let's talk to the man. And I'm glad we're doing this. When a young person comes to you and they sign up, they go on registration, they sign up, they join Fantasy Wings, and they're going through the program, what is the cost involved? And how do young people go through this? Because does it cost money? How much does it cost? When they send an email, do you break it down to them, the systems and what goes into it? Can you please talk to us how this is done?
So all the cost information is on our website. So when people go on our website, you have to go through our website and pick
the programs.
Yeah, well, it's all the same program. but you have to go on our website and go through all the cost information before you go through. But it's £30. There's a £30 registration fee, and it's £25 a month for 10 months. So we try and keep it relatively low.
Yep.
Because we understand that young people from a lot of different backgrounds are coming on our program, and we want to keep it low. So it's £30 the registration fee, and there's a £25 a month charge for 10 months.
You can get in touch with Fantasy Wings at registration at fantasywings.co.uk. You can also reach them at at registration at fantasywings.co.uk. Certainly, the telephone number is 0207 965 7593. I repeat, the number is 0207 965 7593. And the website is www.fantasywings.co.uk. Fantasywings.co.uk. Let's go get music. 45 minutes past 7 on Fantastic Mornings. Our special guest is Mr. Jackson Smith from Fantasy Wings. My name is Kojo Bonti Amwaku. Simone Uncle is my co-host. And Mr. Jackson Smith, our special guest from Fantasy Wings, talking to us. As soon as we come back, I'd love to find out, how are things going with young people? How are they enjoying it? And at some point, I would love to talk to one of the young men who are part, or young women who are part of it. And I know clearly there are young women involved. How are they also faring, and how are they enjoying it? 46 past 7, fantasticradio.co.uk. Let's get the music going. After that, I would love to find out more about Fantasy Wings. My name is Kojo Bonti Amwaku, and see what Uncle is on the radio.
Simone and Kojo on Fantastic Mornings, 7 to 8 a.m. Join the conversation at fantasticradio.co.uk.
Town Records. Playlist
Honey bundles. See, I've got myself a sponsor. Anything me ask, me to bye-bye. Even though it's older, but I got to survive in this life. Another one who is younger. When I ask for something to cry. Missy Papa, I'm a daddy, yeah, I'm a baby, yeah. That's what I like, but she not coming one. And now, baby,
Simone and Kojo on Fantastic Mornings, 7 to 8 a.m. Join the conversation at fantasticradio.co.uk.
Still on Fantastic Radio, our special guest this morning is Mr. Jackson Smith, who comes from the Fantasy Wings company, sharing and also share with us how they're encouraging young people to go into piloting, and the trainings that they're giving there, and many other things that they do in encouraging young people to get into, go into piloting. You can always get in touch with them. The website is fantasywings.co.uk, and every information is on there. Every information on fantasy is on there. You can go in there, read about the practical knowledge that they share. I'm going to go quickly into Jackson, asking of the practical training. What happens? Is there a classroom scenario? Is there? I mean, what's the practical training like when they register and they come through? What is it like with the practical training, please?
So there are sessions that are delivered by commercial airline pilots, those in the industry, different sessions such as how to become a commercial airline pilot, what to expect from flight training, leadership in aviation, and they're delivered by those in the industry, so commercial airline pilots, aviation engineers, aviation leaders. So like one of the leaders of Virgin Atlantic delivered our June session and was speaking at our annual conference. Some of them are presentation based, and they're like seminar based. Some of them, they have tasks to do. It just depends on the session. And then obviously at the end of it, the young people, the 50 young people that get the trial flight and the 3 young people that will get the pilot's license will then go on and do practical flying and be in that arena in a flight school, one of the flight schools that we work with.
You know, Jackson, there's an information I got from a friend of mine. I don't know how accurate, or I don't know how accurate that is. But I'm told that with commercial flying, you have to have flown certain hours to be able to fly. You need mentoring and all that. How accurate is that? You got to be flying for some time to be able to fly the plane and, you know, be doing it for quite a while. How does that happen? You know, when a person comes through, what's the process like? Did you have to go to university and come back and work under mentoring, you know, before you get access to control the airplane? Is that how it works? Can you please teach us how these things work?
So you can go to a flight school and you can start your commercial pilot's license training.
Right.
Okay.
You can start your commercial pilot's license training. You don't need to have any hours to start learning how to fly. You do need to have a certain amount of hours to apply for your commercial pilot's license.
Okay.
But it's not that you have to have it to start your training. You don't have to go to university to become a pilot. So so you can go to university if you want to do things like advance in your career, give yourself more options. But to become a pilot, you don't have to go to university. You just have to go to the right flight school, start your training, build up your hours, do your different ratings, like your instrument ratings, and then get your commercial license. Now, there are requirements of some airlines where they say, in order to be a pilot for us, in order to fly our aircraft, you need to have at least 1,500 hours, or you need to have 500
That
hours.
is it. That was what I think. Yes.
Yeah. But it's not to get your license. It's specific airline requirements.
How many years does the process take? When, I suppose if you're studying as a degree level, or like, for example, architecture would probably take 8 years really intensively to understand and get your degree certificate. How long would you think the process would take from start to finish from studying for at a pilot school or flight school?
So you could get your, if you're doing an intense course, you can get your commercial pilot's license from 1.5 years to 2 years.
Oh wow!
Continuous.
Amazing.
Yeah. You can get it even quicker than that, depending on how much training you're doing.
Yes.
But it just really depends on how much you put into it, what you get out of it.
Great. And then what also, which airline did you begin your career with, really?
So I fly privately.
Great.
So I fly privately, but the pilots that speak on our program fly with airlines such as Emirates, Virgin Atlantic. We have some EasyJet pilots, some TUI pilots. So the wealth of experience is quite vast.
Excellent.
53 past 7. Remarkable thing. I'm listening and I'm learning and I'm also understanding how these things work and how people can go into it and spend the time. Please go to fantasywings.co.uk. Find out how you can register. You go on the register at on fantasywings.co.uk. Get to know. Simone, you realize I nearly said something.
You almost said fantastic radio. No, we're still on the topic of fantasy wings.
What was thinking? I nearly said fantastic. Go to Fantastic Wings. No, it's fantasywings.co.uk. And please go in there. You can register, get to know the course, understanding how you can go in there, register, do the training, and get to the destination you want. If you are really looking to become a pilot, training as a pilot, go to www.fantasywings.co.uk. Speaking to Mr. Jackson Smith, telling us how and what goes into it. The training and the program that they're conducting there is in Birmingham, it's in London, and it's Manchester. Yes. So please, wherever you are across the nation, come through. If you want to come into London, please come through. But most of all, please go on their website, fantasywings.co.uk. Mr. Hamidi, 45 minutes past music. 45 minutes past 7. Let's go get music. As soon as we come back, we will finalize our conversation with Mr. Jackson Smith from fantasywings.co.uk. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Simone and Kojo on Fantastic Mornings, 7 to 8 a.m. Join the conversation at onair@fantasticradio.co.uk.
Vanna in a dancehall style. I love you like mango. Better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Me say me love you like mango. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Tell you what I want to do.
Nega do cabelo duro, que não gosta de pentear. Quando passa na pasta do tubo, o negão começa a gritar.
Simone and Kojo on Fantastic Mornings, 7 to 8 a.m. Join the conversation at onair@fantasticradio.co.uk.
56 minutes past 7 on Fantastic Radio, talking to Mr. Jackson Smith from Fantasy Wings. You know, Jackson, before we bid you goodbye, I wanted to lastly ask, what is the word or what is the encouragement that you want to share with that young woman or that young man, 13 to 25, you know, looking to get into piloting and hasn't really mastered the courage yet? Can they hear Mr. Jackson tell Mr. Smith telling them something, saying, listen, what you can do, and a word of encouragement to that young person? Over to you, Mr. Jackson.
I would just say to just believe in yourself. Like, there's a lot of naysayers and there's a lot of people that may tell you that this is not something that you can do, and you may not have seen yourself represented in the role, but you are ultimately the decider of your own future. And anything that you want to achieve, you can achieve if you put the work in. Speak to pilots if you want to become a pilot. Reach out to pilots, potentially on LinkedIn. Send us an email. But more importantly, we'd be happy to have you on our program. And we'd be happy to help you take your development further. So yeah, take the next steps that you need to, and honestly believe in yourself, because you can do anything. Every industry has a first. So at our annual conference last week, there was the first black pilot that ever flew for Virgin Atlantic. He was there.
Oh wow!
I bet when he was applying, he didn't see himself represented at the airline, but he applied and he became the first. And now there are multiple black people that fly for Virgin Atlantic. So yeah, just take that next step. And believe in yourself.
Jackson, on your wings and on the wings of Fantasy Wings, do many young men will fly. On the wings of your dreams and hopes that you cast this, many young people's dreams and hopes will manifest it. For what you've done, you've created a platform. You've given young people hope. You've given young people that possibility that they can believe in. We want to say thank you to your team. Martin, who's been taking all our calls. Thank you, Martin, from your team. But most of all, want to say thank you to the Fantasy Wings team for such a fantastic work that you guys do there, bringing young people through, encouraging, motivating, and putting them on the map. Myself and Simone and the whole fantastic radio team wants to say thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
Thank you very much as well for having me. I do really, I've loved being on your show. So thank you very, very much.
No, we've enjoyed. We've actually learned quite a lot from you already, just in this short session. And really, hopefully anyone listening in, especially the younger generation, will take from your message that, self-belief and trying to be the first in either it's your family that's first going into this career, or the first in from your university or school, or just anyone. Just be the first, really. And there are representations out there. Thanks to Fantasy Wings, representations of the Black community doing this already in aviation. So yeah, we really thank you for actually getting this started in 2019 and bringing it to this level already. Congratulations and thank you very much for your input.
Thank you very much. And you guys have a great day.
You too.
Thank you. It's been Jackson Smith from Fantasy Wings. Guys, you can go to the website www.fantasywings.co.uk. Get in there, get to know them, see what you can do. If you really want to do it, it's available. Go in there, sign up, pay for it, and join it. It's one thing going to the website. It's another thing reading the text. It's another thing being encouraged. But most of all, it's important. It's very important, cardinally vital to go and take action. Take action, make it happen. And you know that until you take action, nothing happens. Simone Uncle, your last word for today.
No, I've enjoyed it. It's been great. I've learned a lot. I thought I understood the program, but Jackson's set us right in a lot of things and make a lot of things very clear and quite easy. And, for those people that are again, a little bit kind of concerned about the cost, they've made it a nominal cost for those families in different backgrounds and income streams to be able to get involved. So please give it a go. If it's something that truly intrigues you, that aviation as a career, as a potential career, please take the steps to inquire with Fantasy Wings at UK. And they have the locations in Manchester, Birmingham and London. So hopefully some of our new young people will be getting involved in the next few years in this career.
Jackson Smith has been brilliant, and I have enjoyed today. Want to also once again congratulate the England team for such a fantastic work they did. They did yesterday, playing and doing what they can do. Mr. Gary Southgate. I want to also congratulate Mr. Saka, Mr. Rushford, and Mr. Sancho, and all the gentlemen who contributed immensely to the England team. We want to say thank you to the work you've done, representing and playing your part and contributing. Thank you so very much. But most of all, want to say thank you to Simone Uncle, who has been with me from exactly at 7, and it's almost 2 minutes past 8. It's been brilliant. It's been fantastic. Coming Wednesday, we come again with Fantastic Morning with our special guest, Dayo Olomo, who is confirmed talking about premium leadership and everything to do with moving things further. It's been Kojo Bonti Amwaku. Find Simone on Simone at fantasticradio.co.uk. She's on Twitter at Uncle Simone, and myself is Bonti Amwaku at Twitter. Have a wonderful and a fantastic and a brilliant and a wonderful morning. Bye-bye for that.
Bye for now.
It's morning, and the day is filled with endless possibilities. We're so glad to have you listening. Have a fantastic morning. Fantastic Radio UK, home of the Afropolitan.